I can fix her. That's all I'ma say. The downfall of Ice Spice was good. YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. zayswrldlive. We
Ice
got it.
Spice was one of the biggest up-and-coming rappers in 2022, one of the biggest celebrities in 2023, and now is one of the biggest flops in 2024. Now, if you clicked on this video, then you probably know Ice Spice for her very big music catalog and ass. But lately, Ice Spice has tarnished her career completely, and you can see it in the numbers from how she went from 40 million monthly listeners on Spotify to 17 million and has lost over 500,000 followers on Instagram. This woman's career is going down harder than the Titanic, and it's completely her own fault and wrongdoing. So how did she mess it all up? Let's cut the bullshit and get right into it. Now, Ice Spice had three main factors that made her such a big star in the first place: her looks, her music, and her likable personality. All of these she slowly crumbled one by one. But how exactly did Ice Spice even get famous in the first place? Well, when looking at her background, she was practically born to be a rapper. Real name Isis Gaston, she grew up in the Bronx, and I see why she completely changed that name. Now, that area of New York is home to some of the greatest rappers of all time, like Jay-Z, Nas, and Biggie Smalls. There is so much hip-hop culture in just that one tiny town alone. Her father, Joseph, was also an underground rapper himself. Not much is really known about his career, but it didn't seem like he really made it too far. He would constantly freestyle in the house and even put her on to hip-hop music in the first place. But Joseph wanted what was best for his daughter. He didn't want his daughter to be another statistic, so he sent her to a private Catholic school in Yonkers. And Ice Spice would go on to say that this was one of the best decisions her parents made for her.
I thought it was bad, but like, it's just Bronx shit. Like, y'all know how it is. If you go to like school in the Bronx, you turn out differently a little bit.
Facts.
Like, I probably would have been pregnant if I had, probably would have been had kids if I went to school in the Bronx, no cap.
Now, it was in high school where Ice Spice would start to freestyle her own raps, writing lyrics in the notes of her phone and rapping to beats.
Bro,
Ice
I'm
would
not
start
even
to
gonna lie, bro. Bro, she looked good when she was younger, bro. Like, bro, I'm not gonna lie.
Freestyle her own raps,
I
writing
can fix
lyrics
her,
in the
bro.
notes of her phone and rapping to beats that she found online. Freshman year, she made her Instagram handle Ice Spice. However, she never actually recorded any music until she went to college at SUNY Purchase, where she played volleyball. Ice Spice was a really good player, and she said that this was a very, very fun time in her life. She started posting some of her freestyles here and there on Instagram, and then she was discovered by a local producer by the name of Riot. And this would be a very, very key component for her success. Not only is Riot the producer for like all of her songs, but he also had some very, very strong connections in the industry. For one, his dad was DJ NF, who was a radio personality for the Hot 97 station and was a road DJ for Biggie Smalls back in the day. His mom also worked in the industry as well, but her position isn't really well known. But in her sophomore year, Ice Spice decided that college was no longer for her and she dropped out. She didn't really know what she was going to do, but it wasn't college. Now, to earn money, she would work at Wendy's and The Gap until she had things figured out. Riot would convince her to start taking music more seriously, and then she would finally start to record. She went viral for the very first time in March of 2021, but not for her music. On TikTok, she posted herself doing the Bust It challenge, which was trending pretty hard at the time, and people really liked her big personality and ass. She saw that she was getting a little bit of a following, so she continued to post thirst traps when she actually dropped music. Seeing as how she got attention for her looks, this would be a very continuous theme for her in the future. She would drop her very first song on March 5th, Bully Freestyle. She made a video for the song and promoted it through TikTok. Because of her TikTok following, the song would actually get some traction, and then she would drop more and more songs. Also getting some traction on SoundCloud as well, which is pretty good. Now, the style that she did was the Brooklyn drill genre, which was very, very popular from the late Pop Smoke. This was the biggest rap subgenre in 2020 and was everywhere. It was known for its heavy, cutthroat, vicious, unforgivable attitude. Now, Ice Spice was a pretty unique voice for the subgenre because she was rapping about using her looks to get whatever she wanted in a genre full of men. This really helped her out, and she would also make an appearance on the On the Radar radio where she would do a freestyle. This helped her get taken a little bit seriously. And it would be in August of 2022 that she dropped the song Munch. It was posted on World Star Hip Hop, and it was a sassy Brooklyn drill anthem about using her looks to get anything she wanted from a guy that she referred to as a munch. Now, the opening line of the song is what really made this thing go viral. You thought I was feeling you? That fella a munch. I'm sorry. Now, the song had mixed reception at first with 700,000 likes likes, but 400,000 dislikes on the video. We moving back to mama's house with this one. We was deep in the trenches, now we digging deeper with this one. We going from poverty back to the Great Depression with this one. But the song did go viral for a combination of reasons. Now, the opening lyrics to the song went crazy over social media and helped become the new slang. It was catchy, sassy, and a really cool thing for all of the girls to say. It was basically the woman's anthem. And the other reason was because guys thought that Ice Spice was hot. Like, literally the entire video was Ice Spice wearing pretty revealing clothing and shaking those cheeks. Even if you didn't like the song, lots of dudes are gonna watch that. And it worked. Music formula: simple beat, simple lyric, big energy, and big ass. Now listen, using sex appeal is nothing new in the music industry. This goes back decades ago, and it's still done today in all genres. So it's not like Ice Spice was using some particular cheat code here. And it's not like all dudes thought this song was mid. There were tons of dudes who were secretly bumping this track and getting their inner zesty on. Now, the song was one of the biggest trends of 2022, but the actual performance of the song didn't really reflect that. That year, the video only had 35 million views and over 60 million streams on Spotify, which is a lot, don't get me wrong, but since everyone quite literally knew the lyrics, that wasn't really that much. You'd think that it would have at least topped the Billboard Hot 100, but it didn't. The song would only further go viral after Ice Spice revealed that Drake sent her a DM praising both her and the song. Drake would later fly out Ice Spice and her team to his OVO festival in Toronto where dating rumors began, and fans pointed out theories that she was secretly the mom of Adonis because of how similar they looked, which obviously isn't true, but it's pretty fucking funny. And from their initial link up, Ice only had really nice things to say about Drake.
When Drake DM'd me, I did not really expect that, but I had just landed in LA for my Genius open mic for Munch, and he was actually like, yo, Munch is hard and You're on the Radar freestyle is hard. And I was like, damn, that's crazy because I'm really in LA about to shoot the open mic. Like, linking up with him was so cool. Like, he's mad, nice, and respectful. We went to OVO Fest. It was exciting because it was like his first time performing in Toronto, I think, in like a couple years. So it was just a movie. Like, everybody was excited, the energy was high. Nicki performed, it was lit. Wayne did his thing. That's crazy.
But the day after the festival, Drake would unfollow her and no one really knew why.
It's been speculated that Drake unfollowed you afterwards. Do you want to tell us some tea on that?
He did. I don't know why though.
Shame on you, Drake. Shame on you. You shouldn't have done that.
It's okay though.
She's out here.
It's all love.
Ice, thank you so much.
Drake would then similarly diss her in the song Back Outside Boys. She had 10 trying to rap It's Good on mute. That's really funny. She responded on Twitter seemingly unbothered about it. At least I'm a 10. That's how I imagine she would talk. But later we'll confirm that her and Drake were completely fine. And all of this would be good publicity for Ice, as being associated with the biggest rapper is only good publicity. But the question is, how long was she going to be around? Well, it wasn't so good after she did her very first performance at Rolling Loud when 504 brought her out. She did one song, twerked for most of it, and the crowd seemed completely unengaged by it. She was clowned really hard for this and was deemed a one-verse wonder. There were also tons of other videos surfacing of her live performances where the crowd was completely non-existent or non-engaged. All the footage of her concerts that went viral was just her shaking ass and not really doing much else. To many people, she was more like a glorified stripper rather than a rapper. It also wasn't a good look for her when it was revealed that she was asking more money from promoters that booked her for shows now that she was poppin', and she was threatening to cancel on those already pre-arranged shows if they didn't pay her more. This made her seem pretty ungrateful, egotistical, and selfish in the eyes of many people. It seems like her career was gonna completely end by the start of 2023, but this was only the beginning for her. Now, before 2022 ended, Ice Spice would make one of the best career choices ever by getting on a stream with Kai Cenat. Now, in the stream, she was really able to show off her personality and who she really was. And because streams are just so raw and unfiltered, she was really able to just let her personality show. People being able to see this relaxed, human side of her really made her likable. Ice and Cleo seemed so genuinely chill, I'm shook. I love Ice and Kai still made sure Cleo wasn't left out of nothing. I love how Ice Spice is still paying attention to her friend when she says something and her friend has Ice Spice back. I love them. Now, Kai Cenat was on his way to becoming one of the biggest streamers ever at this time, so this stream was a smash hit, getting over 5 million views on YouTube, and the clips of it also went crazy viral on social media. She would then start doing lots of more interviews and media appearances, which just made her even more and more likable. At first, Ice Spice didn't really have that dedicated of a fan base because the fans didn't really know her, but now she was seen as this sweet, chill girl from the Bronx who wore bright colors, had a nice smile, and had a very funky hairstyle. It made her really appealing to young girls. Guys wanted to date her, girls wanted to be her. It was the perfect combination for appeal. And this would be great for her upcoming single, Bikini Bottom. This was a song that quite literally sampled SpongeBob music and also followed a very similar formula to Munch, which was all she really needed. The song would perform well and show that Ice Spice was not going anywhere anytime soon. She would then drop the song In Her Mood, which would actually outdo the success of Munch and Bikini Bottom. She definitely beat the one-hit wonder allegations and was ready to drop her debut project. Ice Spice literally started her career less than 2 years before this, and now she's one of the most talked about artists in the world, which raised theories as to whether she was an industry plant or not. I mean, literally the 6th song that she ever released suddenly went super viral, and now she's hanging out with Drake, Kai Cenat, and signed to major labels? And her producer also just happened to be a very, very strong figurehead in the music industry. Now, there was a strong chance that possibly some nepotism was involved in her blow up, because at the end of the day, connections is really the only way that you truly make it big in the music industry. Almost any rapper that blew up only blew up because there was another rapper who helped them, like Drake did with Lil Wayne, Eminem with Dr. Dre, J. Cole with Jay-Z. It's really the main way that you're able to get your foot in the door. Now, Ice Spice denied this and didn't really seem to care about the rumors too much. I just let people believe whatever they want to believe, to be honest. I don't really mind all the rumors. At first I did, but now I'm at a point where I understand that just comes with this lifestyle. Listen, at this point, any popular artist who suddenly blows up out of nowhere always gets accused of being an industry plant. But looking at Ice Spice's path, it seems like her growth was genuinely organic to some degree. She would drop her debut EP, Like, in January 2023, named after her signature catchphrase. The EP was decent. Critics gave it favorable scores and it sold 15K its first week. She was still new to the game, so there's tons of room for improvement. And she was still heavily capitalizing off of her looks to promote her music still. Considering the cover was pretty out there, but the pinnacle moment that Ice Spice's career truly went to a different level was when she collaborated with the singer Pink Pantheress on the song Boy's a Liar Part 2, which was basically just a remix to the original song Boy's a Liar. The catchy, glittery song would debut at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was an instant success for both of them. This took their careers to a new level. To this day, the video has over 200 million views. This was really when Ice Spice became genuinely mainstream and was taken seriously by the music industry. This showed that she was not going anywhere anytime soon. She would then collaborate with Nicki Minaj, who was one of the rappers that actually originally inspired her to rap when she was much younger. Their song debuted at number 4 in the Hot 100, and then Ice Spice would get a call from the biggest artist in the world. Taylor Swift had Ice Spice featured on her song Karma, which peaked at number 2 on the Hot 100. This made Ice Spice have the highest amount of Hot 100 entries in the year 2023, and also gave her the highest debut ever for a female rapper. And she would keep the momentum going when she collaborated with Nicki again for the song Barbie World, which was featured in the Barbie movie. And this song would debut at number 7 on the Hot 100. At this point, Ice Spice was unstoppable. 4 songs in the Hot 100. And she would even get her own drink collab with Dunkin' Donuts. And also on top of being invited to the Met Gala, which, as you know, is an event exclusively for A-list celebrities. And of course, she would also get a deal to do a commercial for the soda brand Starry for the Super Bowl, which is, like, you know, one of the biggest sporting events ever. The fans couldn't get enough of Ice Spice, and she would soon tease another baddie anthem, Deli. Before the song even dropped, it went crazy viral on TikTok, and they were begging her to drop it. She would drop it as part of the deluxe for her Like EP, but when she did drop it, she got a ton of backlash. The song was good, that wasn't really the problem, but for the music video, she had TikToker Aya Tanjali twerking on all 4s for it. The problem? Well,
bro,
she was
that's
16, which is below the age of consent in New York City. And considering this girl was a pretty popular influencer, people were really quick to point it out. I mean, it's pretty likely she knew how old the girl was and let this happen anyway. Twitter even put a community note on her original post warning viewers about it. I'm not sure if this technically violates any laws, but one thing's for sure is that it's pretty weird. Maybe the Drake influence was getting a little too strong on her. Ice Spice never really addressed this, and it seems like she didn't really need to because the story died down pretty fast. The song would still get tens of millions of views and would soon go gold. Safe to say, Ice Spice had a phenomenal year. But let's hope she enjoyed it because this would be the last good year for her. The very beginning of 2024 would already be the start of her downfall. She was hyping up to drop new music for her debut project. And as a debut single for the album, she would drop the song Thank You the Shit Fart. A song that is just as ridiculous as it sounds. Think you the shit, bitch, you're not even the fart. Yeah, I know. Now, initially when she shared the snippet of the song, people legitimately thought it was a meme and like didn't think it was a real song, but it was. But this was a real song that she was dropping as the lead single for her debut album, Y2K. Like, I don't know if she was trying to start a meme or something, but it was not a good strategy. Now, the song did debut at number 37 on the Hot 100, but completely left the charts after a month, which is pretty terrible considering how strong of a streak she had before that.
Well, I'm watching the downfall of Ice Spice, bro. I'm watching the downfall of Ice Spice, bro. Like, and I'm saying, bro, I could fix her, bro. I could fix her. 100%.
But one of the things that really trajected this downfall was a couple months later when one of her friends would leak text messages between them where she talked pretty badly about Nicki Minaj. Now, back when they were making the song for the Barbie movie, Ice Spice claims that Nicki's manager was asking for way too much and she was being really ungrateful for the opportunity that she was presenting to her. Because Barbie asked him to do it alone, but since
I mean, I know she's still popping, but I mean, like, she's definitely like popping like a lot less. And like, cause like she went from like 40 million to like now she at like 17 million streams.
that's her brand, I invited her on and she doesn't even see that as me bringing her something. She's kind of like my mom, ungrateful and delusional. I cut her off, by the way, not speaking to her till January. Now, essentially, Ice Spice is claiming that she's the one who gave Nicki this opportunity and that she should really be grateful that she even brought it to her. She also claims that Nicki wanted publishing rights to her songs and also wanted third-party writing compensations. She basically says that Nicki was gaslighting her a ton and needed to take a break from her for her mental health. Now, there is a good chance Ice Spice probably had a valid reason to complain. After all, why is Nicki trying to get publishing rights to her songs when Ice Spice is not even signed to her or anything? And Nicki is known for being extremely toxic in the hip-hop community, beefing with almost any female rapper that looks her way. However, Nicki has one of the strongest and most toxic fan bases in the entire world. 100%. In this sense, Ice Spice came off as pretty egotistical and entitled, considering that she's acting like as if she's the bigger artist who's helping out this small little rapper. Now, this wasn't really Ice Spice's fault, as it was her friend who leaked these text messages, even though that friend would later regret doing that. Ice Spice would even later confirm that her and Nicki were on good terms, but the damage was done pretty badly to her career. A lot of Ice Spice's fans were also fans of Nicki Minaj, so this bad publicity was not really good. But this wasn't nearly as bad as the stunt that she tried to pull for her song Did It First. Now, this was the second song for her debut album, and it was a collaboration with Central C. Now, before the song even dropped, Madeline RG, who is Central C's girlfriend and also a very popular influencer, accused Central C of quite literally admitting to cheating on her. Now, to promote the song, Ice Spice and Central C were basically starting rumors that they were dating and he was cheating on Madeline with her. But Madeline was not really involved in the marketing thing at all. Like, this was not staged on her part. She seemed to actually be getting cheated on. Ice Spice further fueled the drama by constantly posting videos with Central C on TikTok, including one where she captioned it, "Mood after taking her mans." Now, I'm not gonna go too deep into it because I'm not a tea spill channel, but this drama got tons and tons of views all over TikTok, which, as we know, is essentially where Ice Spice's main fan base is. But this wasn't a very successful strategy, as the drama outweighed the attention of the song. All of the comments were talking about how terrible of a thing this was to do to Madeline, which it was. And Ice Spice would later go on to reveal that her and Central C were just friends. So a whole relationship was basically ruined just to promote some very forgettable song. It showed how dependent she was on outside factors to actually promote the music at hand here. And eventually, it showed, because her debut album Y2K performed horribly when it dropped, selling 28,000 copies its first week. Now, for a debut album, that's good, don't get me wrong, but for an artist of her stature who had multiple platinum records, multiple Hot 100 entries, and considering the album also had big features like Travis Scott and Gunna, this album did absolute dog shit. In fact, doing the calculations, her album underperformed by 392%. Now, why did it sell so badly? Well, part of the reason was because it was fucking trash. This album had no originality, no effort, no creative substance whatsoever. I mean, if you look at some of the lyrics in these songs, it basically speaks for itself. I'm Miss Poopy, I never smell. I'm Miss Poopy like I need a diaper. What the fuck kind of bars are these? Look, I know Ice Spice was never known for being a crazy lyricist or whatever, but like, what is this shit? She even named a song on the album Giat so she can appeal to Gen Alpha or whatever. It's kind of like she was trying to make the worst album possible to piss off her fans. And it was completely ripped to shreds by music fans and critics alike. All the drama she started, all the stunts that she was pulling, all of that was for a measly 28,000 copies. In 2023, Ice Spice had over 40 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and then she had 17 million monthly listeners on Spotify in 2024. A horrific decrease in such a short span of time. Now, Ice Spice may have lost her respect as a musician, but as a person, she still had some respect. But then that would be completely tarnished. Now, like I said earlier, one of the things that really excelled Ice Spice's career was her pretty privilege and her particular features. Now, out of nowhere, Ice Spice would start posting pictures where she looked much more thin. And people immediately started speculating that she was using Ozempic because it was such a quick weight loss. Now, Ice Spice tried to disprove the theories by posting a video of her doing her workout in her gym, but that just did not help at all. Now, I'm not a fitness expert of any kind, but what I'm looking at right here, this is like the fakest workout video I've ever seen in my life. Like, she's barely even breaking a sweat and putting no effort into any of these workouts. And her response to the situation just screamed that she was using it. Oh my god, like, what even is Ozempic? What the fuck is that? Genuinely, what is that? You know what it is, Isis. I've seen better acting on the Hub, for God's sakes. Like, I don't know why she's denying it. Like, just admit it, it's fine. But the real thing that completely tarnished Ice Spice's career was when her friend Cleopatra would come onto TikTok and exposed her for some very toxic behavior. Now, in case you don't remember, Cleo was that girl who was with Ice Spice in that Kai stream. She was friends with Ice Spice right before she blew up, and they were very close in the industry. So they go a little back. Now, when she went on tour to go promote her new album, she invited Cleo, but only gave her 1 day's notice.
Please keep in mind that before I went on tour, I had 1 day to prepare, 1 single day.
Now, keep in mind, going on tour is like a commitment. That's not something you can just know about last minute. Giving someone only a day's notice is pretty wild and inconsiderate. And suspected the only reason that Cleo was even invited on the tour was to make them seem much more inclusive and diversified, and also to clean up some of the bad press from the Nicki texts. However, on the tour, Cleo was treated like absolute shit. Like, not even like a human being.
I had no idea until I got on tour and started seeing certain things, and I'm just like, wait.
Now, Cleo was not being paid for this tour, but she was promised that her essentials will be taken care of, like hotels, food, yada yada.
What do I have to pay for it? Nothing. You're gonna be with me. You're good. You're gonna be with me. So I was like, okay, everything is handled. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna make the best out of it.
Now, which may sound bad, but being the opening act for a huge artist is a big opportunity. It can open you to large audiences and give you lots of industry connections that can really lead to big opportunities. Sabrina Carpenter was at one point an opening act for Taylor Swift when she was a much more smaller artist and now has the #1 album this year. Kendrick Lamar was an opener for Drake on tour when he was simply just a small artist from Compton, and we all know how that ended. For the people who really need the press, it can go a long way. At the bare minimum, Cleo was assured that her essentials would be taken care of, but that was also a lie. Cleo was not given a dressing room to prepare for the shows, a hotel room to sleep in, or food.
Why don't I have that? I didn't have a room. I was told I was gonna be with her, but I didn't have a room. No room for me backstage at all. I was in her dressing room.
Everything that she needed, she had to pay for out of her own pocket. And to prepare for the show, she would even have to go so far as to dress in public restrooms.
They'll give me like a bathroom. The bathroom that everybody's using. They'll give me the bathroom and say, well, you can get dressed inside this bathroom right here. So they would like show me bathrooms and little corners that I can get ready in, and I'm just like, what?
On top of it all, Cleo was never actually promoted or posted on the lineup for the tour, and her performance was scheduled before the actual show even started.
I made a flyer announcing that I was gonna be coming on tour with her. It did not even get reposted. It didn't even get a comment or like, and she was tagged in it. The bill, it didn't even have my name on it. Like, just about nobody knew I was coming on tour. It was like a special guest. Online says the show starts at 8. It would even say 9 sometimes. And guess what time I was going on? At 7:30.
So not only was she not getting paid, had to pay for everything on her own, but also was not receiving the full extent of the opportunity that she was paying so much for. Why go through all this effort and money just to not even get any spotlight? Now, a stylist who worked on the tour and directly with Ice Spice confirmed the entire thing on TikTok. And this became huge drama all over on TikTok. Ice Spice's manager went on Twitter to say that she was not grateful for the opportunity that she was getting. This what happens when an artist team don't manage their artist expectations when an opportunity comes in front of them. If you're not prepared for an opportunity isn't properly advancing, then that's on them, not us offering the opportunity. You have to invest in yourself, aka pay expensive if need be for the opportunity. It's corny. Someone gives you an opportunity and this is the thanks the person gets. Openers don't have the same things headliners has. The entitlements and ego are crazy. Now this doesn't really just make any sense because Cleo was aware she wouldn't get paid for the show, but she wasn't notified that she would have to pay for all of her own stuff. But also apparently during one of Cleo's performances, her card was taken and used to buy designer items. But thankfully she got the money back. And in terms of the opportunity, she wasn't receiving the full benefits because she wasn't promoted on social media or even performing during the actual time of the show. Now Ice Spice would respond on the Twitter Spaces thing where she completely played victim. Basically just saying, oh, woe is me, this is what I get for trying to be a good person.
That's what the fuck I get for trying to be a good person. It's whatever, bro. Honestly, like, you know, that's not gonna stop me from still trying to be a good person. Like, I'm gonna always help the next person out, like, and that's really my fault for real, because whatever though.
And she invited her because she felt bad that Cleo didn't really have a lot of Spotify listeners or whatever.
You got less than 10,000 listeners and I'm sharing my stage with you and you feeling so entitled, like you thinking that my peoples that work for me is supposed to work for you too?
And then called her a vacuum because they were at an Italian restaurant where she ate a bunch of the food.
Bitch, you not gonna tell the people how we was at an Italian restaurant and you ate so much fucking food, you fucking vacuum, that the server was like, where did the food go?
And she also said some stuff that probably wasn't necessary.
Bitch, can I play with my pussy one time? In my bed one time? Like, damn, you wanna sleep in my bed every day? That's crazy to me.
Cleo's DJ also came forward and confirmed a lot of the stuff that was happening too. This showed that Ice Spice was a very controlling and manipulative person who really used her stats to get her way and didn't take any accountability. She didn't care about her friend making it big, it was all for image. Now the reason all of this is so accredited to her downfall is because it really tarnished that sweet personality that she was so known for and liked for so much. And it was basically the only thing that was keeping her relevant. Everything that made Ice Spice a superstar crumbled. Her sex appeal, her music, and her personality. When it came to her appearance, people were just starting to get tired of her concerts, basically just her shaking ass, and even she seemed to be tired of it at this point. Her songs in general were just starting to become irrelevant. Her formula got stale. When you look at her most popular songs that were collabs like with Pink Pantheress, Nicki, and Taylor, all of those were actually just remixes. And any song after that was just a really generic drill song. She didn't really switch things up. You can only make the same song so many times before it gets bland. And can only use your looks so many times to promote your music before it gets tiring. All of the events happening, her true colors were starting to show. But I also want to mention that the real reason it really also blew her because she was no longer really a girl's girl. Personality is what really helped her get such a strong female fan base. Not to mention Madeline RG is also a very popular influencer with over 10 million followers who are mostly women. If you had a friend like Ice Spice and this is what she was doing to her friends, then you wouldn't really want to hang out with her. And that was the same with her fan base who felt this strong connection. They saw her as just another toxic celebrity who let the fame get to her head. It's a shame because Ice Spice had a genuine chance to stay relevant in the music world. We see way too many rappers who are here today and gone tomorrow because they fell down the trap of using gimmicks. And unfortunately, Ice Spice fell down that path too. Will she be able to make a comeback? Maybe, but it's gonna take a lot.
Damn, bro. The downfall of Ice Spice. I'm not even gonna lie. Nah, man. I don't even know what to say. I mean, like, she did low key, like the way that she was responding to like a close friend and stuff. Like, come on, man. Like, bro, why not? Like, bro, aren't you supposed to, like, since they're your friend, bro, like your close friend, like, shouldn't you want them to succeed too, bro? Like, why not, like, promote them? Like, expend some of their stuff, bro. I mean, like, bro, they're dead ass, like, canceling what they had to do to, like, go on tour with you. Like, come on, man. Like, besides though, again, like, as I said, I mean, like, I could, like, for sure fix her 100%. Yeah, that's W video. Oh my god, it's Blanco. It looked like he made a bunch of like different videos, you know. W video. Yeah. Peace.